Alright guys, welcome to a slightly different video this time. Today's video I'm going to go over a quick range routine that you can go through, or range practice session that you can go to if you're a time poor golfer. So if you've got limited time to do any practice but you're still wanting to get better at golf, this might be the one for you. Stick around. So the main reason why I chose to do this is because a lot of my students, I hear from them that they don't have enough time to practice, or they have very, very minimal time to practice and they don't know what they should be doing in their time. So I've set this up so that this is for anyone who is just like them, who struggles with their time, because you can get through this range session in about 45 minutes. Now obviously some people that's still going to be a little bit too long for, but if that's something that you can put aside in your week, it's really going to help you at least get that practice session in that you might need to see some improvements. So what I've done is I've got a medium bucket here at the range. So here we've got our 60 golf balls in our medium bucket, and we're going to divide our session into 6 parts. We've got the warm-up, we've got short distance, medium distance, long distance, driver, and then finally we've got our practice or trial session. Okay guys, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab an alignment stick or another club out of the bag, and we're going to just set it up towards a target out here on the driving range. So I'm just going to set it up towards that green target. It's about 140 meters from this bay to that target. Now make sure you come back behind and you make sure that that's set up. There's going to be a fraction left of the target, because obviously if our feet are pointing straight at the flag, our club's not going to necessarily be pointing there. So we want it just a little bit left so that everything can be squared up to the target. All right, so part 1. So I've got my alignment stick pointed at my target. All this is warm-up. It's very important while we're warming up that we still choose a target to go to, because we want to make sure our alignment's still there. And even though we're only hitting warm-up shots, we still don't want our alignment getting all mixed up. So when we're warming up, I like to do it with a 7-iron. I'd recommend 7 or 6-iron, just because it's a length of iron that's not too short like a wedge, which would have you bent over, and it's not too long that we're going to be generating a bit too much speed early on in the warm-up session. Now, if you can, definitely recommend stretching beforehand as well. If you're someone like me who has issues with their back or any other part of your body that might limit your movement, definitely recommend stretching beforehand, because it's really going to save you. Now I've already done that, so I'm just going to go into my warm-up shots. I'm going to hit 10 shots, just going at that green flag. That's my target. Line up to the stick, and I'm just going to go through my 10 shots. All right, 10 shots done. So that's part 1 done. So what we got next? Part 2, short range or close range. So what I'll do here is I'll generally choose a target that's inside 100 meters. So for me, I've got this white flag just in front of us here. It's at 95 meters. Now, whatever club you pick, we're not necessarily needing to hit a full swing. You want to match it up to what you do out on the golf course to that distance. Now, obviously, a lot of people from that distance are pretty happy hitting a full swing. They might go out, all right, there, it's full sand wedge, and hit a full sand wedge like that. I don't recommend doing it, just because personally I find I prefer having more control over my shots. So what I'll do from this distance is, instead of taking sand wedge and hitting a full sand wedge, I'll take my 50-degree wedge, my gap wedge, try and hit a more controlled shot in there. And on days like today where we are a little bit into the wind, helps out too. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself up. Make sure your stick is then aligned to where your new target is as well, by the way. We don't want to be going at the green flag while we're trying to hit to the white flag. Set yourself up, and all you're going to do is you're going to try and hit 10 shots at that white flag. Really nice. And then what you can do as well, if you're someone who's on more of the elite side of your golf game, someone who understands how to shot shape and move the ball left to right, right to left, within these 10 shots, you can actually break them down into a lot of 6 and 4. So the 6 that you're going to do: low and straight, high and straight, low and drawing, high and drawing, low and fading, high and fading. And what I'll do is, if I go through and run those 6, and whichever ones I struggle with, I'll use the next 4 in that lot of 10 to work on that one. So we'll go through that. We've got low and straight, We've got high and straight. Low and drawing. High and drawing. Low and fading. And then high and fading. Really, really nice. So in a rare case like that where I actually hit all 6 of them the way I'd like to, I'll go through and I'll still pick some of the ones that I've struggled in with the past and go, okay, I want to work on my low and fade. And I'll spend those last 4 shots working on that low fade. Quite nice. Section number 3. Number 3. This is our medium length distance. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pick a club like a 7 or a 6 iron, and we're going to find a target that we can aim at that's roughly that distance. Now, I know straight away from today that green flag's where I'll be going at. I'm just going to aim it back up there with that stick, so getting that alignment stick pointing back at that green flag, making sure that it's lined up where I want. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we did in the last one. We're going to do 10 shots at that flag, really, really trying to zone in on it. All right, so you saw from those ones, my high and straight and high and fade were a little bit offline there, so they would be the 2 that I work on through those last 4 golf balls. So I jump in, and just trying to work on high and fade first. That's nice, much better. And then once you go through and you do those 10, guess what? We're up to part 4, long range. So here, grab the longest iron you have, 4, 3, 5 iron, doesn't matter, just grab the longest one. And same again, we're going to pick a target that we can go for. All right, so I'm going to go back right there. I might come up a little bit short because there's a little into wind and I'm not particularly swinging too fast today. It's about 180 meters to that back one, 4 iron. Exact same thing. If you're on if you're on that more elite level again, we're going to try and hit those shot shapes. If you're someone who just wants to work on their targets and hit the nice ball flight, same thing. We're going to pick that target and we're just going to hit some nice shots at that. All right, after you're done with that, we should have about 20 golf balls left. What we're going to do, next one, driver. Now, when we're out on the golf course, we don't just step up and hit driver and not have a target, do we? No, we're looking at the fairway. So what you're going to do here, if you've got a range like this, it's nice and easy because we can set up a fairway using the back posts. So I'm going to set up a fairway with the second from the last post on the right and then 2 posts over. So it's a relatively tight fairway, and all I'm going to try and do, so I'm going to spend my 10 shots working on trying to keep that driver inside the fairway. That one's nice. Very nice one to finish on. And that just leaves us with the final part. Now this part is all entirely up to you. So what I mean by the work on something sort of section is you're going to pick here an element of your game that you wanted to practice. So for instance, my last few sessions, I've been working on trying to get a little bit more speed. I'm not going to do that today because my back is not in any sort of position to do that. But I'd go and spend my last 10 shots working on trying to increase my speed, not worrying about where the ball actually goes, just working on trying to get that speed up a little bit. For someone who wants to hit some shape shots, this will be the time to do it as well. Practice your draws, practice your fades, get in there, see what you can do. Another one, if you want to try and learn how to hit some stingers, we can get in there. We've got our last 10 golf balls and we're just trying to practice hitting some nice stingers. Not too worried about the actual result or where that golf ball goes, just trying to work on something new. just like that. All right, guys. Well, I hope for all you time-poor golfers that kind of gave you an idea on something you can do to get out to the range and do some practice in between lessons or in between rounds. Now, obviously, I completely understand everyone's busy nowadays, especially coming into Christmas. It's going to be a bit hard to get out, but if you can manage to put aside 45 minutes of your day, this is really going to help you just getting out there and having something that you focus your golf game to. You see, we didn't even work on anything drill related here. All we did was work on setting targets out there, because in the end, I see way too often people come out to the driving range to do their practice and all they're doing is hitting golf shots. They get a large bucket and just hit shots and they're not really doing anything. At least with this session, we can get out there, we're picking targets, we're focusing and treating it as if we're on the golf course. But other than that, I hope this really helped. Again, we're going for 150 subscribers by Christmas. We only need 22 more. So if you can like, share the video around, it really helps. If this session did help you, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing feedback and seeing what you think I should go and do next. And on that note, I guess I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy.